Hey, I wanted to share with you something that I often see with my clients and my friends and even myself. And I want to share with you that have you ever thought of this question, why am I so lazy? Maybe you're just in high school or an adult, you're 30 and you're about to, you're stable at the job maybe, or you don't have a job, or you're a parent now and you just can't get yourself to do laundry or wash the dishes or help with the kids or just get up. And you wonder, like, I'm so lazy. And I wanted to share with you, like, potentially different perspectives so we don't get stuck in this negative loop of kind of shame, judgment, and you kind of push yourself to get out, and then you kind of get in a rut again and you kind of go into this negative loop. So I wanted to give you a different perspective on it in hopes to help you a bit more. All right, so there's a simple, hopefully I can simplify and give you a visual of how this looks like in our nervous system. And I'm going to use the theory called the polyvagal theory, and it's a ladder. And let me get the visual up here. And if you can look at the visual here, you'll see that there are three boxes: the bottom dorsal vagal, sympathetic, ventral vagal. And as you see at the top is the calm and connected and motivated. And that's what you want to be able to achieve. You're not going to stay there all the time because it's human to go back and forth in these moments. The middle is sympathetic, fight, flight. You're busy, you're anxious, you're trying to run away or fight into something in order to survive. Remember, these are all for survival reasons. And the dorsal vagal is what we would consider kind of that freeze, functional freeze area. I would consider that's kind of between the sympathetic and dorsal vagal. And that's what by understanding your nervous system, you kind of realize this is normal. A place where people start feeling like they're lazy, it's really not you're lazy. You're in a state of protection. And this is a key thing I believe to understand. And the tricky part here is most of us, myself included for sure, is to be able to survive in this world. We push through it. And you might have the capability to push through it. The problem is we never really solved, or we never listened and allowed that space to feel, hey, what am I trying to protect myself from? What am I trying to keep myself safe from? And when we are resisting or pushing through that, what happens is that resistance internally eventually gets stronger and stronger. Some people go through their whole life until they're in their late 70s or 60s. Some people 30, 40s. I mean, that's like where the midlife crisis may come into play. And the key thing here is more about connection, honesty, and truth. So the key here, the reason I'm talking about to change the perspective from not being lazy is, what am I protecting myself from? This is not malfunctioning of the body. If anything, it's functioning. So the question to ask is that, what am I potentially numbing myself from? What is it that I'm disconnecting from? What do I need? So the first and foremost thing is to become aware that you're doing that, and you're aware that this is more of a protective mechanism. And then these are some things that you can do as a tool. So these are three tools that I would consider to try if you are doing it. One is compassionate awareness. This is more about mindfulness. So you're just kind of just becoming aware what's happening in your body, what you feel in your body, and you're not trying to judge it. You're just becoming aware of it. And then you kind of go, wow, my truth is that I'm angry. I'm kind of frustrated about this, or I'm scared. Number two is doing micro movements. So what you might notice in your body is that you are frozen. Like, like when you're scrolling and doing, like, your eyes are noted, like focused on something, and doing gentle movement is not a bad idea. Even like just kind of moving your neck, moving your shoulders, moving your chest. These are not bad things to do because it just starts to mobilize. If you go back to the visual of the polyvagal 3, right above, so this is like a ladder. You don't suddenly jump to connection and safety. The second part, which is like a fight or flight, is about movement. So you're slowly creating back energy is a key thing to remember. And lastly, the things that you might be going through and you're feeling kind of the freeze from, these might be not yours. These might be expectation from society, your boss, your spouse, your parents. That might not be yours. That might not be even what you are interested in or compassionate about. So breathing out longer for 6, breathing in for 4, and just kind of imagining I'm just breathing out things that are not mine could be really helpful. So this is exactly what I go in deeper with my free masterclass that I host once a month right now, and talk about kind of like pain perception, the body, mind, spirit a bit more, because I think our current medical system is so structurally oriented. Like we think about the body and that's it. And we don't see how we can communicate how all those things are connecting to really empower the individual, to gain back your voice again. And that's my mission and goal for myself here. So if you're interested, go down to the registration link below. If you happen to miss it, I kind of keep up with the YouTube, maybe subscribe to see when I'm going to do the masterclass again. Or you can come back to my Instagram at Kento.BodyMind.Coaching, which I also put in the link here, description here. And you can DM me masterclass and I'll put you into the next one. All right. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you next time.